Good morning, family. I am La Santera. Welcome to your Moon in Aquarius reading. I am late to post this reading because I wanted to really sit with it, reflect on it. It was a lot. This moon is a lot, especially coming out of a moon in Leo. As a Leo, I wanted to honor the Aquarius moon because my mother is an Aquarius, and my mother, who was a twin, born a twin, her twin sister died when they were teenagers, when they were 14. I wanted to do two readings. It was important for me to get messages from my tia Neida, who is an Aquarius, and my mother, who is an Aquarius. And so I pulled 6 cards for tia, 6 cards for mom, and I want to share what those messages are for Aquarius, because I think that as the moon is still with us and we're still with this energy, moon energy is really important. I wanted to title this reading, I wanted to honor this idea of cutting cords, cutting ties. And so let's get to it. The first card I pulled for my eggun, my ancestor, is ERZULIE. ERZULIE FREDA DAHOMEY, Arada card, also known as the 7 of Swords. This is about imaginings. It's about possibility and the jolt of shattered dreams. We have to be careful. We have to be careful with how we are presenting ourselves in the world. We have to be careful with betrayal. Are we the person who's doing the betraying? Are we being betrayed? This card also tells us, the 7 of Swords also speaks to us about imposter syndrome, what we might be struggling with, believing that we're a fraud, that we're deceiving someone, that we're a con, that we're not really who we say we are, or that we don't believe that we're good enough for. This card is telling us to really be more authentic, to not try to pull a fast one, to steer wary of deception, deceiving others, deceiving ourselves. We might be feeling like, who do we think we are to do something? Let's sit, let's reflect, let's look in the mirror, and let's try to connect to our authentic selves. This card, ERZULIE, she carries a freshness, a virgin-like sensibility. She is looking deeper at the world, not looking at appearances, looking at things as they are, seeking things. We're being called to look deeper within ourselves and to be honest. This is about this idea of a mirror is like what we are reflecting, what we're showing the world. Many of us are walking around with masks. We're not who we say we are. We are pretending that everything is good when we are breaking and shattering on the inside. And so, the message here is that we're going to start to, people are going to see us for who we are. We can only wear a mask for so long before we're found out. The next card is DELUGE. DELUGE. The Blasted Tower. Sacrifice. Sacrifice, unavoidable, emotional upheaval, revealing core issues of self-sacrifice. Nothing feels more like achievement and accomplishment than when you sacrifice for it. Nothing comes easy. This card is speaking about sudden change, chaos, movement in the chaos, transformation, a shattering of things. We're being forced, we're being pushed. Things are happening so quickly, change is coming so quickly that we are either going to write it, we are either going to change with it, or we are going to die. So because this is a tower card, it's saying to expect the unexpected, massive change, destruction, upheaval, right? This is connected to finances. This is connected to our health. This is connected to natural disasters, and we are being called to be spiritually, mentally, and emotionally strong, right? Some of the other messages are going to be talking about a battle that we need to be preparing for. We are being called in this card, the deluge, to allow things to crumble and crash and fall apart. Let it break so that you can rebuild. Feel all of it. Our next card is the Master of the Head, the Hierophant. This is about realizing our purpose. You know, the cards that come before are about standing in our authentic self, allowing for things to break down. Here we are being told to master our spiritual practice, how we commune with our dead, how we are, what rituals are we creating, what discipline, how are we moving, how are we honoring our gifts, how are we moving towards our goals. This is about our beliefs. We are being called to strengthen our spiritual practice, to become masters. Breathe. I love this. This is telling us that if you can't do it alone, seek help. Seek the help of someone like me. Speak to a santera, speak to a counselor, go to a therapist. Find the thing that works for you. But we are being called to get spiritually strong and connect to the divine. Major Arcana card. This is Dr. John, the One card, the Magus, the Magician, Magia. This card is connected to craft, our skill at what we're trying to manifest. No coincidence that it comes right after Master of the Head. Here we are being called to connect to our inner wisdom, to our intuition. You see him using his drum to commune with the dead. No coincidence that this is coming up as an eggun reading, as an ancestor reading, about manifestation and resourcefulness and how we possess everything that we need. Sometimes we just don't know how to access it. This is the number 1 card, right? So this is new beginnings, opportunities. This is connected to spiritual realms, magical realms. It's open, the door is open for us to ask the questions and listen to the answers. He is a master manifester. So how will you use this fire to manifest the dreams that you want to see realized? This is about your desires, and only you know that, right? I'm pulling a reading that's confirming for us that we all have a path and a journey and very specific things that we were born with. Now is the time to tap into that, to really listen, move forward. This is the time. Be clear about what you want. Pedro is next, the AGWE La Flambeau, 4 of Wands. He's riding a boat. This is AGWE. On a sea of hot molten lava. This is extreme circumstances coming our way. We've seen the cards, chaos, destruction, endings. I titled this reading Cutting of Chords because this is either union, we're moving towards something together, or this ship is going to sink and it's over, right? And so there's a storm ahead, and how will we move? How will we rise above it, right? In terms of being a 4 of Wands card, so the Petro is the fire, right? Like, be careful, be careful in your relationships. The 4 of Wands speaks of celebration, of joy, of harmony. It's saying that this is a message of celebrating with those you love. This is about celebrating with your family, your chosen family. And so you have ridden the lava, you have dealt with the chaos, you have ended things. Now you're celebrating because you have opened the doors for the things that you really desire. Yeah, this is exciting, right? Because it's Because it's fire, it's hot, and it can be negative, but sometimes what we think is negative is for our highest good. Our last card in this eggun reading for my tia is ancestors, the last judgment. Final judgment, understanding the worth and meaning of one's actions within the context of life, how we are living right now. I have pulled this card before. Ancestors comes up a lot in my readings because I know in my spiritual practice that I can't do anything without honoring my ancestors first, without honoring the dead first. That's part of my ita, that's part of my life journey. And this comes up for us in this moon, reminding you to remember where you come from, remember their names, honor their names. Because it's the last judgment card, this card is about death and rebirth, our inner calling, absolution. Also, if we're blocked, this card could be about self-doubt, our inner critic, ignoring the call, right? So it's one or the other. How are we using this moment, this moon, to birth something new? Or are we staying stuck, right? Because I pull this reading for twins, for IBEJI, for los JIMAGUAS, it's important that we understand our duality. Sometimes we can be in a moment of rebirth, but being flooded by negative thoughts. And so this card is asking us to rise up and trust that right now is the time. Under this moon, everything that is coming for us is for our highest good, even if it seems to be bad. It's for our highest good. So listen to it. Trust our intuition, trust our judgment, trust that we are on the right path. We don't need to question ourselves anymore. We don't have to ask permission anymore. There was a time that I used to ask, certain friends for all of their advice before I made a decision because I was paralyzed. I couldn't trust myself. Now I don't do that. I don't ask anyone. I ask my cards, I ask my ocha, I ask my ancestors. I listen to my higher self because it knows and I trust it. Right? That's one twin. You ready? For my moms, let's get it. First card that comes up in the Aquarius moon for the other sister is ORIATE, the Prince of Discs. This card is about your competence. This speaks to a person's character. This is about a person who is trustworthy, honest, honorable, reliable, a good worker, a leader, a manager. And in this reading, hateration is real. Envidia is real. Jealousy and envy is real. And it's really sad. That emotion, it does not serve us. This card is, for me, it's about strength. This is the ORIATE in the Santeria tradition, in la regla de Ocha, who is so well versed in OGGOUN, in the readings, in the stories, and the messages from the Orisha, who sits and reads you your ita from Elegua, Ochosi, Obatala, Oya, Oshun, Yemaya, Chango, Ogun, whoever you're crowned. The ORIATE is the person who basically reads your signs, right? And helps you to navigate this world. And so this card is about understanding and deciphering what it is that we're called to do, but trusting and knowing that we are competent. I love that this card opens for my mom because there is no woman stronger than my mom. None. So because this is the Prince of Discs, it speaks to a person who's meditative, a person who is quiet but determined, resourceful, reliable, unwavering, imaginative, open to surprises, playful, youthful, childlike. I love that this is this card comes up as a personality trait. I feel like this is about strengthening our character and connecting to those things that are true for us. And we can't worry about what the outside world thinks, right? It is time for us to listen and decipher for ourselves. Next card that comes up is Radha la Place. This is the Prince of Swords. We had the Prince of Discs. Now we have the Prince of Swords. My mother is quite regal. They call her La Contessa because she's fabulous. This card represents someone who is brilliant in an argument, in intellectual discussion, but also don't be a walking contradiction. You know, this card is not about us being arrogant. We can be right without needing to be right. You know, sometimes we can be in conversation with people and they're not hearing us and they're not hearing our point and they're obviously wrong. And sometimes it's all right to say, okay, that's what you believe, and keep it moving. This is a highly intellectual person, very educated. This card is about, it's also the Knight of Swords, right? So this is about ambition and action. This is about our success. It's about being focused. There could be some blocks here too, right? Where you could be too impulsive and too unfocused and too scattered. This card is telling us that there's nothing stopping us. We hold all of the power. We hold the sword. We hold the machete. And nothing can stand in our way. Be assertive. Don't back down. You might not be liked, but move anyway. Don't let anyone or anything hold you back. Another ERZULIE came up for my tia in the eggun cards, and now my mom's. ERZULIE La Flambeau, Petro card, is the Seven of Wands. This is about forceful, decisive action in the matter at hand. Whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, you're being called to act. Make a move. Don't stay stagnant. Under this Aquarius moon, no bullshit, no nonsense. Let's get it done. Let's be done. Let's cut the cord. Let's end it. Let's keep it moving. Let's get unblocked. Let's take that machete in our hand, go through the forest and whack and open up the path and open up the doors. We are the power that we need. Good morning, Papi. Bendición. Forceful, decisive action in the matter at hand. You're shifting, you're changing, you're evolving, you're connecting more to your spiritual essence. Change is coming fast and furious, family. And it can be violent rage, or it could just be assertive action. Because this is a Seven of Wands, it talks about challenge, it talks about competition, and it talks about protection. Get ready for battle. Don't get caught up. Don't get caught out there unprepared. There are haters, but they just don't have it. They don't have what you have, right? This is about success. So go do. OGGOUN FERRAILLE card. All metals. Maferefun OGGOUN. This card is about loss, an unfavorable outcome, bravery in the face of certain loss. Where's your fight? Are you sweating for your dream? Are you working hard? Are you giving up? Are you quitting? This is about conflict, right? The Five of Swords is about conflict. How are we communicating with people about anything in life, right? This is about our relationships, disagreements, competition, defeat. Well, I'm not a fan of competition. I don't really believe in competition. Like for me, I feel like what we're born with is ours, and no one can take that from us. And so this idea of, winning at all costs, I'm winning for me. I'm not winning because I'm trying to outdo anyone. And so how can we reconcile that? Yeah, for me, this Ogun card is about hard work. It's about hard work. It's about moving forward. It's about paying attention, eye on the prize. It's about being that horse in the race, being that horse in the race. And you see it when a horse is running, right? And he has his mask on, and it's almost like they're blindfolded. They're not seeing what's happening over here. They're not seeing what's happening to the left. They're just forward movement. We're being called to be more like a goon in that way and just focus, stay with it. Don't worry about what's happening around us. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Simbi La Flambeau is your 8 of Wands. Short-lived perfection and uncovering of hidden motives. Because it's the 8 of Wands, it's about movement, fast-paced change, action, alignment, air, travel. The path has been cleared. The action we're being called to take is now. We've gotten a lot of fire cards, a lot of moving in the chaos, a lot of letting things break down, a lot of cutting the cords, a lot of ending things. We're being called to focus our energy on what matters most. There's nothing stopping us. There's nothing in the way right now. Look to completion. This is a moment of completion. Yeah, right now we're being called to harness this energy, this fire energy, and move with full force. And your closing card is the magic mirror. This is the moon. We open with the moon, we close with the moon. This is about divination. Papi, cierra esa puerta, por favor. It's about divination, magic, sorcery, occult power. We're connecting to something. We are connecting to our inner magic, to our intuition. We're listening to our ancestors. The moon is about releasing fears. This time is about listening to our intuition, our dreams, our unconscious. How do we work with the moon, right? The moon represents our fears and our illusions. And so when it's a new moon, when it's a black moon, when it's a super moon, when it's a moon in one of the signs in our horoscopes, we're being called to honor it, to let go of some things that aren't serving us. And every month we have an opportunity to reinvent ourselves, right? We're being called to pay attention to our lunar cycle so that we can create these new rituals, these new cycles. And so what I am inviting you to do is cut the cord. Cut the cord. Let's create a ceremony where we're cutting the cord, relationships that don't serve us, romantic, friendship, familial, toxic, toxic masculinity, toxic femininity, people who are poisonous, envious, gossip. Like, let's cut the cord to the things that are energy suckers so that we can make room for the things that we want. Under this moon in Aquarius, the Aquarius sign is beautiful. I love that my mom is an Aquarius because she's so powerful and so loving and so kind. So under this moon, I'm wishing for you to be connected to more lovingness and more kindness, but understand that this is a no nonsense sign, that it's about getting done. And Aquarius is get it done. They're leaders. They are leaders and visionaries. And so under this moon, I pray that you can connect to that Aquarius energy, to those characteristics that serve you, and create rituals that really will help you move forward. I hope you enjoyed your moon in Aquarius reading. There's so many beautiful things that came up. For me, in terms of creating a cord cutting ceremony of my own. If you want to learn more about that or need help with that, you can hit me up. If you want a full reading, you can hit me up. Email me at lasantera.nyc@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, share, repost, put on your Instagram, your Insta stories, everywhere. Yeah, and I hope you have just an amazing rest of this August month and really ride this Aquarius moon. Peace.